Okay, it's testing the sound. Ooh, greetings everyone. Preliminary greetings. You can see the donation options there. That's two of them. I guess there should be more of a space. Lord have mercy. Let's try that again. Anyway, I'm Chimoge. You can also call me Moge. I'm currently optimizing this. Is there a point to that optimization? Let's see. Yeah, let's try it one more time. Just want to make sure that I'm able to get donations if possible. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, anyway, you guys understand two options to donate: Venmo and PayPal. That'll both go to OZ Bangwell for the overall media company. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. This is Moge, my personal network. Today I'm going to be talking about Lamine Yamal. As you can see from the title, I am concerned by the prominence of the professional soccer player Lamine Yamal. And then I'll also be singing because I'm going to give the points about Lamine Yamal twice just so they sink in. After each time, I'm going to sing. The first time, first I'll show you my notes about Lamine Yamal. Hope you can see them. I join you on this Thursday evening. So those are the points about Lamine Yamal. But then after each time I give the points, I'll sing. Here's what I'll sing about. So the first time I'm going to sing about Onyeka. These are people, let's just call them, for the sake of quick understanding, supernatural beings that created the universe. Why not? So one will be Venus, and the other one will be nature. In my language, you can call that Okike. You can also apparently call it Oke Amadioha, the blessing of the good husband of the people. For context, that manifests as an animal, as that particular one, what you call a bear. So think like a grizzly bear. And then also koala. Apparently the koala is nature as an animal. So, because it's like these different beings, they have different forms they can take. His resting form is a koala, and then like those various other bears, those are like him when he's doing other stuff, basically. So anyway, that's interesting. And again, forgive me, I know conceptualizing a supernatural being is very hard. And I'm not a pastor here. I'm not getting on you if you don't just take everything I'm saying for granted. I can't even, I can see him in my, I guess, mind's eye, but I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say I've shaken hands with the koala and it's confirmed, yes, we're in nature. I think you know what I mean. But anyway. The whole point is always sing about them because why not? That's the first time. And then the second time I'm going to be singing about animals that are part of the category of animals known as land animals or animals that matter. In my language, animano ala. What does that mean? Basically, these are animals that should not be deleted from life under any circumstances, basically. Obviously, you can defend yourself. But it's best not to even think of that kind of scenario. Basically, just think of it like it's not like a cow or something that you can, delete and eat, things like that. And it's also not like something like, say, a cockroach, where if you deleted it, you don't have to worry too much. Again, don't just randomly delete animals. It's not good. But some of these animals, for example, what we call an elephant, that's one. If that gets deleted, that's big. You should treat it with seriousness. That whole thing should be investigated. Anyway, I'm singing about two of them. One is what is known as an aka. Apparently, the animal we call an iguana typically is an aka. That means extension. In my language, the word aka is typically used to mean hand. That's not. Apparently, again, I get these messages when I pray. Apparently, that the term hand refers to an extension that can remove things. So you should just call this an aka as just an extension if you're being very exact. So there's some precedent for that, but it's not exact. So that's one animal. Apparently, That's how it manifests. And the second one is an animal called Allah, which is the animal of the land itself. So those animals we call monitor lizards. Apparently, that's their rightful name. We call them a matter. Anyway, oh, forgive me. It's a little stuffy in here. Let me take off my hoodie. Anyway, what I'll be singing about again. But now let's start with the notes. This is a very serious subject. Again, I'll call everyone to prayer. Kabrunonogo Kabruji Kabrakila Dinananamobunaka Ekejike Abum Shangefo Abum Mishikalakan Abum Shimogen Keroma Bumoge Mishikalakan Sansone Bow. Let's go. Basically, I just called in my whole bloodline, cleared out the evil, said, let's go. I pray for all our success. I pray for the success of everything we support. Batgirl. Yeah. Think about it. Some of these things that are big, they might be real anyway. Batgirl prayer, same thing. Anyway, let's go into it. So the title of this live stream is, I am concerned by the prominence of the professional soccer player Lamine Yamal. I am concerned by the prominence of the professional soccer player Lamine Yamal. So here are the 4 points about him. First, Lamine Yamal, for those of you who do not know, is an 18-year-old professional soccer player who plays for FC Barcelona in Spain. He plays for FC Barcelona at the club level. Again, this is men's professional soccer. FC Barcelona is a club located in the titular city of Barcelona in Spain. And then at the national team level, he plays for Spain. He's of, for what I'll say now, Moroccan descent. And again, I'm just saying that because of my position on how we should talk about people in relation to these things we call countries. But again, this is not that's not a point I want to really focus on. I just want to note that I believe the English language and current practices are not sufficient to talk about people. But anyway, he's of Moroccan descent. And he plays for Spain because he was, to my knowledge, born there and grew up there. So he decided to play for Spain. Anyway, so he plays for FC Barcelona in Spain, and he's 18 years old. The second main point now, and this relates to that, is he's currently out of the Spain squad with an injury. This is part of the cause of concern. Again, is it healthy for an 18-year-old to be playing so frequently in the way he plays when he's injured and cannot even play in a major game for his nation? Third, and again, I'm going to be critical of Lamine Yamal here. He is a one-trick pony. He has a strange playing style. Lamine Yamal is a one-trick pony, and he has a strange playing style. Let me explain a bit what I mean about that. Obviously, it can be hard to describe a playing style, but essentially, he always does the same thing. He's typically deployed on the right side. He'll get the ball using primarily his left foot, his dominant left foot. He'll cut in, but he just it can be hard to describe quickly, but he really does the exact same thing. And to be honest, he doesn't do it that quickly. And you'll see why I'm noting that. He seems to always go in the same direction. He'll cut in, he'll kind of go in a semicircle, and typically he'll either pass to a teammate who's in the middle of the pitch. And again, he really only seems to operate in the final third. Again, it doesn't seem to be a player who gets involved defensively much. So he'll do that, or he'll shoot a curved shot from a tight angle. Again, these are things that were much rarer to see even like 10 years ago. But many players do this, and he's a very big proponent of that type of playing style. But I just want to note he looks kind of awkward to me, at least when he's doing that. I don't know if I'll be able to get footage of him playing, but hopefully in the future I can somehow represent him playing to show you guys what I'm talking about. If you want, just look up Lamine Yamal, Lamine space Yamal to see what I'm talking about. But anyway, he's a one-trick pony with a strange playing style. Again, I have to be harsh when critiquing people's playing. And I know there's a lot of discussion about whether or not people who are not professional athletes, quote unquote, can criticize them. I am of the opinion that you can. Again, you don't have to do exactly what someone else is doing to know enough about it to give a valid critique. Anyway, so that's point three. Point four, Lamine Yamal is currently being given a lot of media attention. Lamine Yamal is currently being given a lot of media attention. And in my opinion, I think the media attention is not completely healthy. I'll just leave it at that. So those are the 4 points. Again, this is really just, beginning, clear the air. I'll be talking more about him in the future. Let me give the bonus piece of information and then other stuff. Make sure that you have healthy social connections to the best of your ability. Make sure that you have healthy social connections to the best of your ability. All right, here's the double question. 2 things to think about. First, does Lamine Yamal actually play against talented defenders, or is he just on famous teams in high-scoring games? Does Lamine Yamal actually play against talented defenders, or is he just on famous teams in high-scoring games? One thing to think about. Second question, is Lamine Yamal going to be healthy when he is 30? Is Lamine Yamal, who is currently 18, going to be healthy when he is 30? One other thing I forgot to add, his injury, how should I say? Basically, as a result of his injury, Lamine Yamal underwent a medical procedure. It was a surgical operation. And then after that, I'll just say he still was unable to play. So, and the injury, I believe, was a groin injury, at least an injury in that area. So that's very crucial. So I just want to note that. Anyway, those are the points. Show them to you again. This is a very preliminary thing. Now let me sing. Ooh. Oh, I forgot my maracas. Here we go. I want to get another shirt. Been trying to be very efficient with what I own. Also, I just don't have a lot of money. So those 2 things together mean that right now I don't have that many shirts, but kind of tired of this one. I think in the future, I'm going to try not to get white shirts. But anyway, I like orange. Orange shirts are good. Anyway, let's go. Let's sing. Sing about the Onyeka that created the universe, the expansion people. If you want to know more about that, think like supernatural beings. I'm just going to start using that as the quick term of understanding, even though it's not perfect. Should I move this back so you can see me when I stand? I think I'll do that. That might be it. Okay. Ooh, okay, ready, okay, ready, okay, ready. Okay, I'm a joker. Okay, all men, she, Aru, Uto, Venus, on and so, YTT, all boo ocean, all boo ocean, on no kike, kike. Enu Neptune on una okike kai. Translate that later. All right, let's go. Basically, Venus is in nature. They go together. All right, once again, I am concerned by the prominence of the professional soccer player Lamine Yamal. I am concerned by the prominence of the professional soccer player Lamine Yamal. I think that if the world was at its very best, Lamine Yamal in his current form would not be nearly as prominent as he is because he's simply not good enough to warrant that amount of attention and to the degree he actually has succeeded on the field, success on the field. Anyway, first, Lamine Yamal is an 18-year-old professional soccer player who plays for FC Barcelona in Spain. Lamine Yamal is an 18-year-old professional soccer player who plays for FC Barcelona in Spain. Second, in a very controversial saga, I'll say, he was left out of the Spain squad due to an injury. Really had to pull out of the Spain squad before a major game due to an injury. As part of the situation with his injury, Lamine Yamal, who's only 18, had a surgery on his groin area. That's very serious. Third, this is harsh, but I'll say it anyway. Lamine Yamal is a one-trick pony with a strange playing style. Lamine Yamal is a one-trick pony with a strange playing style. Basically, it involves cutting it in on his left foot from the right side, doing one or two repetitive motions, and either passing to someone in the middle or curling a shot at goal. That's his playing style. Anyway, fourth, Lamine Yamal is being given a lot of media attention. Lamine Yamal is currently being given a lot of media attention. Those are the 4 points. This is just an introduction. Anyway, bonus piece of information for higher development. Make sure that you have healthy social connections to the best of your ability. Make sure that you have healthy social connections to the best of your ability. Now, here's the double question. First, does Lamine Yamal actually play against talented defenders? Or is he just on famous teams in high-scoring games? Does Lamine Yamal actually play against talented defenders? Or is he just on famous teams in high-scoring games? Something to consider. Second, is Lamine Yamal going to be healthy when he is 30? Is the currently 18-year-old Lamine Yamal going to be healthy when he is 30? All things to consider. And once again, here are my notes. Here are my notes. I'll just leave it there. All right. Do the second song. This time I'll be singing about Animano Ala, the animals that matter, the animals of the land. If you delete them and you know you're wrong, you've crossed the way of the land and you will have to deal with ew, the extended not it, hell, unless you repent before your time is over on this earth. Let's not do those things, okay? And if you do anything close, you have to deal with purgatory. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, let's be positive. I, ka, I, la, amadio, ha, la, ma, ta, or mara, ta, la, abu malishi, la, abu malishi, ma, ta, abu kalu, ka, anameka, nu, wa, abu ka, na, u, wa, ka, u, wa, ka, la, ama, di, o, ne, chu, ka. Well, see you next time.